We shall clarify some of this, but let's have a look first. So, everyone, well, your third reading that I've done, I did Taurus and Gemini yesterday. And everyone's got this kind of very kind of burst of positive energy in the present. And then looking to the future, and the future is not written in stone. It's one possible future as we go ahead. This seems to be a sticky point. Now, for a lot of us, that's going to be because that's what we're projecting into the future. We're basing our action in the present on what we think the future will bring. But we'll talk about that. So, Queen of Cups, there you are sitting pretty. Now, the difference between the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands, and I think they both come from a place of what inspires them, right? Queen of Wands is on her passions, what she looks to create, the light that she has to shine. The Queen of Cups is about the love that she has to give. And I always think that she's the one that embodies the principle of unconditional love the most out of everyone. Now, I think unconditional love, when we say that, is one of those things that's very misunderstood, because unconditional love does not mean that you keep giving and pouring your love towards someone or a situation that is basically abusing them. You can still think about it. So I might love someone and I might tell them I love them. Now they might turn around and say, well, I hate you, Jay. If I love them, I will still love them no matter what. But I might not want to be around them then, right? If I'm making them feel uncomfortable or the dynamic isn't there, then I need to remove myself. That love is still there. Go in peace, I'd say to them, but I'd still love them. So that's the whole point of unconditional love. Unconditional love means our love is not based on expectations back from that. Now, the other flip side of that is we don't just keep doing things out of love, that, oh, he cheated on me, or, oh, she keeps abusing me or stealing from me or doing whatever. But it's like, oh, but I love him or her. No, that's not love then, right? Then that's yes, you might feel that emotion, but emotions are just emotions. It's what we feel. And I'm talking about that a bit because the Six of Pentacles covers this too, but we'll talk about that. Queen of Cups. So all your messages are kind of hitting me. When that happens, that's Eight of Wands energy. I bet you're getting hit from different angles. Like, you're looking at something and then getting hit by something else. And because that's how your energy feels. And I come to readings tabula rasa, blank slate. So whatever energy comes through, I know it's the energy of the reading. What do you love? That's what she's asking you, underlying energy. What do you love? And hopefully, coming into this week, that's something that you've been considering, something that you've been looking at. But it feels big. Because it's not just about who or what do you love now. It's the Ten of Pentacles. You can love it. Like I was giving that example. You can love something. But the Pentacles are about the physicality. The physical truth. What we're building are physical security and stability. And yeah, that can be our bodies, physical body, right? That can be our homes. That can be our jobs, our investments, our money, our relationships even. Because this is the family card. It's those things that we build to give us long-term security and stability. And the Ten of Pentacles, it's our legacy. I call it the oak tree card. It's that mighty oak tree that has been there for hundreds of years. And it took that time for it to grow, but it's so strong and the roots are so deep in the ground. It's going to take a lot for that tree to come down. It's Ten of Pentacles. So what is it that you love? And is it part of your long-term story? Is this what you came here to do? What is your heart calling you towards? Now think about that. Cancer, got the North Node in it. What is your destiny? What is your path? One of the questions I get asked the most, like, Jay, how do I find out my purpose? How do I know if this is the right path for me? Well, here's your answer. It's your path, it's your purpose, and it changes, it will change, but it's based on how it makes you feel. You will know your heart is calling you towards it no matter what. And it feels good. She's very intuitive. Apart from all that emotional stuff, she's the most intuitive queen. So what's your intuition telling you? And intuitions don't come from fears. Our fears will always say you can't. Intuition is, okay, if you do this or if you go in that direction, this is going to help you to progress. We don't always like what our intuition tells us, but we always know, it always resonates on some heart level as the truth. So think about that in terms of, I always do the general energies and, trust that you will apply it to your situation. But think about that in terms of romantic relationships or even like friends or family, where you invest your emotions into it. Is it part of the plan? Is it part of your long-term, your path, your purpose that you came here to achieve? And I do believe this is around other people because of this. But, you know, for a lot of you, that's going to be the case. But even if it isn't, think about it in terms of work. Do you love what you do? Do you do what you love? Now, we don't always have that luxury, you know. Sometimes we've got bills to pay. So we do jobs that, you know, they don't honor us at a heart level. We can't put a hand on our heart and say, yeah, I love this. I love this. This is my purpose. It's going to be, you know, I'm just doing this to pay the bills. I'm just doing this so I can put clothes on my back. That kind of energy. But even in that, then love the fact that you get paid so you can do those things. So you can progress forward. So they give you that security and stability in the moment to allow you to consider other options that are your long-term plan. Bit of a ramble there about the underlying energy. But then we have the Six of Pentacles coming up at the heart of your reading. Now, the heart of the reading is what everything revolves around, what the focus is on. This is a big week for you, Cancer, in terms of where you put in the effort, what you do, and what you get back for it. If you look at this, usually this is the rich guy who's giving away coins to the poor, right? And he usually has scales that are balanced. And the message I see there, this is sometimes called the charity card. I don't think it's like charity in terms of doing someone a favor. That's not the point. It's balance. It's give and take. It's the law of giving and receiving. Now, she is feeding the birds, right? So she's giving to the birds. She already has her basket full. She's picking extra berries for the birds now. So she's giving to them because they're hungry. But the birds are also giving her something. They're giving her the opportunity to do something nice. You know, it must be nice for her to be able to feed these birds. So there is giving and taking here. There's no pride in what she does. There's no shame in what the birds do. And that's why I like this depiction of the Six of Pentacles. But before she does that, before she gets into that place of giving and receiving, her own basket is full. And I talk about this in the outro a little bit. Like, we have no business honoring others until we can honor ourselves. So that love that you have for other people, do you have it for yourself? Do you have it for what gives you security and stability? I think one of the things that I also said in the outro is that, you know, when we sacrifice ourselves for other people, a lot of people do that. They sacrifice themselves for others. And there's this idea that it makes you a good person, whether it does or whether it doesn't. The first thing that it makes you is a neglectful parent to your own inner child. When you actually take care of yourself, like, think about her. Now she's got her basket full. She's even more happily giving away to the birds. So have a look at this. I mean, this can come up. Usually if the devil comes up anywhere near this and you don't have the devil, but if the devil comes up somewhere around this Six of Pentacles, that's what that's very clearly codependency, that message. So for some of you, it's still going to be that, because I wouldn't have thought of it if it wasn't that. But I feel like this is work that you've already done. Now, I want you to think about this in a literal sense, because we have the Page of Pentacles coming up. It's really strange, Cancer, because I usually talk about it in the larger energies, right? The weather. I can't tell you whether you're going to get wet or not, whether it's going to be a flood or not. I just tell you, hey, it's going to rain, right? Or the sun's going to shine, whatever. But I'm getting a few specific messages through here. For starters, I'm getting with the Page of Pentacles in the past, is at least one of you that you've got a little bit now. You might have struggled to get this, but you've got a little bit now. You've, you know, maybe stopped away a little bit, or you've worked on yourself. You've got a place of stability and security for yourself now. Who is asking for that? That's the message for one of you. Who is asking for that? And are you ready to give it? Because the Ten of Pentacles, yeah, it's that oak tree. But if it's to do with a relationship or a family situation or a group of people, then everyone has to grow that tree together. Everyone works on that together. It can't just be up to the Queen of Cups to pour her emotions into it. And in a general sense, the Page of Pentacles is this. I see the Page of Pentacles as the student. The one who does his homework, who looks at the details, who repeats it, keeps doing it, you know, that kind of wash, rinse, repeat, that kind of energy of the Page of Pentacles to get it right. This can be a card of boredom where you're trying to get the pieces together, right? It's no fun kind of revising for that exam, but this is where it's that kind of energy. So if you have a little bit now, this can be an offer someone makes to us as well, or what we have to offer someone. But it's of value. It might be something small. I always see it as a token of something else. So it's the engagement ring that promises marriage, right? That promises that wedded bliss. It's the contract that promises the job or the home. So I see it as the token, but it's of value. It has its own value. Excuse me, Cancer. Now, so, we have this kind of question about your own personal stability. And so the reassurance here is that you have a place of stability now to move forward from. That's key to remember when we have the Eight of Wands coming up in the present. This is where the pace picks up. There's a call now, a call to action. Let's go. Let's go do something. Let's go ask the questions. Let's go get the information. Let's go have those conversations. And it comes from this. So some of you have had an idea of, oh, I'd like to have that. The business, the relationship, the whatever it is, the job. The Eight of Wands is saying it's time to act on it. These are when opportunities come in. But that doesn't mean someone knocks on our door and says, here's your opportunity. It's more, we go looking for it. We put ourselves out there. Queen of Wands right at the beginning, right? That we put ourselves out there to be a beacon for what's coming in. And when we see the Eight of Wands here, it's not the 8 wands flying through the air like usually we see in the Eight of Wands. We see these unicorns running towards us. And I would say, imagine yourself, you're standing on that path. You have these unicorns running towards you. Now, first of all, you're going to hear their hooves and they're charging towards you. And, that's going to be frightening, thinking, what if there's a stampede and I'm going to get trampled by this? But then the beauty of it, they're bloody unicorns running towards me, like the fancy and the amazingness of that. I'm thinking of that Occam's razor. If you hear the hoof beats, think of horses, not zebras, right? But there's unicorns running towards you. It is finally coming in. There it is. Now, but what do? You can get trampled by it, knocks you out. You can jump on one of these unicorns. You can run with the unicorns. It's a fantasy. Of course we can do that. Somebody else got this message. But I feel like the pace is picking up. So what do you do with that? What conversations are you having? What are you communicating? How are you putting yourself out there more? Now, the thing is, out of this opportunity that comes in or whatever happens here, what we see coming up in the future, what's projected from this is the Five of Swords. So, it's almost like you're standing there, opportunities, you think I could do this and I could do that and I could do that. But you're cutting yourself off at the knees before you've even gone anywhere when you see this in the future, which is Five of Swords, that what's it going to cost me? Am I going to look selfish if I go for this? And this is a card of people that look selfish because they're ruthless. They'll do whatever it takes to get what they want. So there's a question here. What are you willing to do to get what you want? Now, with the Six of Pentacles coming up here, there can be a question mark around, oh, well, I've always given and, that give and take. But this is going for something for yourself. Now, I will tell you this, in the long term, you will have more to give. You will have more to give if you go for what it is that you want. That energy. Doesn't have to be a fight. Forewarned is forearmed. If you see that, it doesn't have to be a fight. But if you're going to build something for yourself, if you're going to, go and have a conversation or do whatever, then it has to be for the greater good of you, Cancer, first, right? Before it can be for the greater good of other people. And it's general, so it can go both ways. So you might be looking at someone else and thinking, they're so selfish. They're so selfish. They might be. I'm not saying they're not. That's a ruthless energy. But what is it for you? What is it that you want? Fives, Agents of Chaos. I've been seeing them a lot recently because there's a transformation. There's a shift that's taken place. And it's almost like, we're going to piss people off. Excuse me. We're going to piss people off. When you start doing things for yourself, when you start going for things for yourself, of course, the people that you took care of or whatever, they're going to start saying, hey, where's mine? They're so used to relying on you. But if they can be patient, if they can give you that room to grow, that room to move, that can be movement as well, right? You'll have more to give people. And those are your true people that encourage your growth. Now we have as your advice the King of Swords. The King of Swords, that's air energy. So there's the heart. If that's the most heart-based, unconditional love energy as an underlying energy to this, what we have here is the most logical energy coming up, the head-oriented energy. The King of Swords has massive amounts of knowledge. And I feel like this information that you get here this week, information gathering, conversations, finding out what it is that you need to know, whether that's asking someone, hey, what are we doing with this? Or, because think about this. If this is, you've set yourself up, you've been giving, to a relationship, we'll say, or for work, and you're asking that relationship person that, oh, what are we doing? Are we committed? Or the work, am I going to get that promotion? Is there a chance for promotion? Now, when we get the answer, it might be, yeah, you can have the promotion, but you might have to put in extra hours or go for that course. Are you willing to do that? Because it might take you away from your family then, right? To do that. I'm giving examples of the energy. Or for a relationship, if you ask the question, they might turn around and say, well, nah, I'm not really sure. Can't we just keep doing what we're doing? That might not be part of your long-term plan. So then you might have to make a decision. Well, this probably isn't my person then. If I want to go in a certain direction or go and do whatever. So there are decisions around that. You know, when we get asked for information, then we need to know what we're going to do with it. He knows what to do with it. King of Swords. Now, this can be an advisor. So if you're kind of truly stuck and you don't know what to do, especially if it's something to do with finances or legal stuff, you know, he's the lawyer, the consultant, the advisor. I would often see him as like talk therapy around the King of Swords. Then go and talk to someone. It might be that, look, I've got a little bit to invest. I've got a little bit to put into a deposit. What's the best use of it? It doesn't have to be a trained professional. It can be a friend, a family member, someone at work, a boss even. An advisor. The kings give advice, and he has very good advice. And he's not going to allow emotions to kind of come into it. He's going to be very logical. He has emotions. You have emotions. So if it's your energy, it's about knowing what you know, and you know it. That information is coming in. It will be cemented with that 8 of Wands. Right. So he doesn't do this. And I understand now why he's coming up as the advice, because he is so secure in what he knows. He's so secure in what he knows. And think about it. If you're the student, if you've been kind of doing it again and again, you know, repetitive energy, looking at the details, trying to get it right with the Page of Pentacles, with him coming up there, it's like, then you know it. It's empirical evidence. You know from how you feel, you know from your experience what's right here. But then why this 8 of Swords? The 8 of Swords is the I can't card. He doesn't understand what I can't is. Because he knows. He trusts what he knows. That's enough. The information that he has. So if you have been dealing with, you know, fears and doubts, if you're trying to grow something, if you can see it, you know, that relationship, that job, that business, whatever it is, and you can see it, your family, and you think, I know the best use of this. I know what can give us long-term security and stability. And I've got like the first seed of this, the potential for it. This is the week to start moving on it. And I feel like it's a lot to do with communication and messages. Starting to tell people what's going on, or because the 8 of Swords is that there's nothing I can do right now. Well, then with the King of Swords coming up, maybe you can plan it. Maybe you can talk about this. Maybe you can get the information that you need. It's all of that kind of logical stuff. Because the heart-based stuff, the inspiration, the movement, you know, all of that creativity, that's all there. The passion's there. But what do we do with that? And this is where the head comes in. The heart knows what it wants. It's the head's job to figure out a way to get it. But if you've got a trap, you know, that's the voice of fear. That's not intuition. That's the voice of fear. Saying, I can't do this. Well, you can. It's trying to keep you safe. But you're not in any real danger. That's the page. If it wasn't him, I mean, that's the adventure. If it gets you excited and fired up, then that's what we do, right? But like I said, it's always your choice. Free will for the win every single time. You guys got spiritual connection. This relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. So I want to say this to you. If this is about someone who you trust for advice and you don't know why you trust them, right? Or a relationship that you kind of love them. You love that person, but you just don't understand why or how you can make it work. Because that's 10 of Pentacles. That's the long term. Or someone in your family. It doesn't even have to be romantic. It can be any kind of thing. Whatever that spiritual connection is. I always say I treat everyone in my life like a soulmate. Because they bring us home to ourselves. This is the week to start figuring out not just this, not just in my head, what's going on, that I can't, or I can't say this, or I can't do that. To have the conversations, to get the information. Is it even fun anymore? Is it something that you really want to pursue? Are we just looking at what it's going to cost us? Which that's fear. That is fear, right? If you think it's too much, the cost of this thing. But I see with this, especially with the 8 of Swords, you're trying to understand it from a logical place. And this, what does it say? It's beyond this lifestyle. This is a connection that's bigger than that. We're trying to understand a connection that's bigger by the earthly stuff. And, you know, I deal with that all the time. People come to me about soulmates or twin flames and all of that stuff. And I'm like, well, think about what you're saying. If you're telling me it's spiritual, if you're telling me what is spiritual, beyond the body, beyond the physical, it's of the spirit. And if you're telling me that, that we've got this connection, then that's beyond this lifetime. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than the physical reality. And so this is some of that, getting the answers that you need, having those conversations. Yeah, this is, I knew it. I knew it right from the start. It was not just to do with you guys. It was to do with others, because we got a leg up. And a leg up, it talks about, you've gone as far as you can on your own. Maybe whatever you've been trying to build, if it's a business, it doesn't even have to be a relationship, a business, and you're trying to build it. You've done as much as you can on your own. Now it's time to, whatever maybe you've helped others. It's time to call in the help that you've given other people, to have the conversations. But this is about other people. And I love this, because you see that little baby polar bear climbing up on its mama. That's how you'll get further now. Either through advice, either with working with other people, having conversations with those people that we love. But that's how if it stopped being fun, whatever it is, because it's been too much pressure on you, then it's time for others to come in and help. I know that's the 10 of Wands, but it's that kind of feel, especially with the Page of Wands. So you can get back to the core of it. I mean, think about it. It's like me, say, and it's happened to me a few times where I love doing the readings. I love what I do and I love working with clients. But then the administrative side, or dealing with people, the kind of messages that people send, which I've already put the information out there, but they don't bother reading anything. They're just sending me, the administrative side. That gets to me. And it stops being fun then, right? It stops being fun. So this is like, hang on, you've done the kind of boring kind of legwork part of it. Are there other people that can come in and help with that aspect of it, and you can get back to what you enjoy doing about this? Dear you, human beings spend a huge percentage of life asleep, not just in bed, but the kind where you forget you are a spiritual, immortal being taking on a temporary human form. It's not your fault. Everyone suffers from spiritual amnesia once in a while. As you develop an identity, an ego, you begin to see through the eyes of a small self and have less connection to your soul self. You may not recognize this is going on, but you sure can feel it. There she is. We're here to remind you to look through your soul's eyes and see that magic is everywhere. Infinite potential lies in spirit, who is teaming with you to fulfill the contract you made to contribute to the evolution of the whole world. Wake up and remember that all the help you need is orchestrated in the invisible realms. Your mind, in alignment with divine intelligence, is unstoppable. The world is yours to co-create. You are so loved and we are all behind you. And do you see that? That whole kind of your mind. Trust that you have everything that you need here to get the information, the give and take. And you're always going to get haters and people that don't agree with you. That's on them. I don't think it's selfish to take care of your own needs, but I think it's selfish for other people to say, hey, stop taking care of your needs and come take care of mine. That is selfish. And it's been something that's been coming up quite a bit recently, lately. But really, it's this. Don't worry about the I can'ts, because you can. He knows. He'll find a way. And you have this. The beauty of these pentacles is that you have a solid base on which to build on. And you have a clear idea, the heart, the physical plan of what to do. Now it's about the knowledge of how to do it.